So, I promised to make some muffins. Protein muffins, in fact, for my friends. And so, why not show you the best super low calorie cheat muffins that are protein maxing for the cut. So, here is the ingredients that you're gonna need. Eggs, stevia for the sugary taste, whey protein, cocoa powder and baking powder. So first, we're gonna put all the eggs into here. Boom! Boom, and that is 5 eggs. So now that we got all the eggs in here, we're also gonna add a bit of water so that, well, the mixture becomes a bit more wet. It is not as dry, and so it will be easier to pour later on. So now that we added about 6 tablespoons of water, it is time to mix. Let me cook. And boom, that looks pretty damn good. And so, for these super simple muffins, the next step is to just add all the dry ingredients into the mix. So the great thing about this recipe is that you can very easily make as many muffins as you want. And so you usually put as many scoops of protein powder as there are eggs. And as I'm making a lot of these for my friends, I need to make a lot of muffins. And so I'm gonna put 5 scoops of protein powder, 1 for each egg. Boom. Then next, the cocoa powder. And for each egg you wanna add about 1 to a half tablespoons of cocoa powder. So basically, because there's 5 eggs, I'm gonna put 2.5 tablespoons of cocoa powder. And remember, you can always change the ratios based on how you like it and how you want the macros to be and all those things. You know, this is not an exact recipe. You can kinda wing it. And trust me, it's still gonna be good. Then we're gonna add the stevia, which is basically, for you who do not know what this is, it measures just like sugar, but it's 0 calories. And I think we're gonna add a bit over 1 tablespoon per egg. I actually did not count how many that is. Fuck it, let's just throw all of this shit in there. See what happens. I mean, if it's a bit too sweet, then it's a bit too sweet. At least it's gonna taste like cheap food, which it's supposed to taste like. And lastly, about a teaspoon of baking powder so that the muffins rise. Now, depending on how much you wanna make, maybe 1.5 teaspoons, maybe closer to 2. Who really fucking cares, bro? Just throw some of this shit in there and it's gonna rise and it's gonna be good. Once again, you don't have to be exact, because even if you fail completely and put all of this kind of like just winging it, it's still gonna work. That's the great thing. It's such a simple and easy recipe that it's basically impossible to fucking fail. And now that we got all the dry ingredients in there, we just gotta mix that shit up. And remember, if the mixture is too dry, you can always add a bit more water, and water has 0 calories, so it won't impact the macros in any way. Very simple. But in the beginning it's always gonna look a bit dry, so just patiently mix it together and it's gonna get a lot more wet the more you mix it. So if you just patiently mix it, usually it's fine without you having to add any extra water. Also, I'm trying super hard not to spill all the mixture because there's so much powder on top. Especially the protein powder is so... I think it's like light, so fine, whatever the word is, that it super easily starts just flying everywhere. But look at this. It's already starting to be a lot more wet because we're getting it on to the bottom where all the liquid and eggs are. Go ham! As I was mixing the mixture, I realized that I did not remember to start preheating the oven. So, put your ovens at about 180 Celsius. That's good temperature. So, the mixture is starting to look pretty well mixed. If you look at this, boom, boom, boom. And so, now we're gonna throw it onto there. And yeah, that is a non-stick muffin thing. Because what I learned is that if you put this straight into the paper, then sometimes they stick to the paper and then you like lose half the product. And you know, when you lose half of your drug empire's product, when you lose half the product of the muffins, that's a lot of money lost. And so gonna use a non-stick pan. And all the people, oh, but that's microplastics, all that thing. Well, yeah, but I'm plastic maxing. Like, the goal is to become 100% plastic. I'm gonna escape this organic body that is merely mortal. And then I'm gonna become 100% plastic and become immortal. I will become unkillable. I will become plastic and eternal and survive all the fucking times till the end of the earth because I plastic maxed. And so yeah, I'm gonna use the non-stick thing. But now let's pour all of these onto here. And I would say put about halfway into the cup because it's gonna rise, so halfway will rise to be about perfect. And because I have so much of the mixture, it actually will be enough for more than 12. So we're gonna have to make 2 batches. So those are looking pretty good now. And then we're just gonna throw them into the oven once the oven actually heats up. Oh man. Had a tiny taste of the mixture. And well, now it looks like I ate the poo poo. But oh well, that is the price of deliciousness. But so, while we're waiting for the oven to heat up, I made some calculations. So here we have it. On the top row we have calories. So 5 scoops of protein powder, 5 eggs, and then the cocoa powder. So in total, the total mixture calories is 1150, roughly. And so the protein is 5 scoops of protein powder plus 5 eggs. And so in total, the protein. And so that is the total calories for all the things. And so if you think about it, we're probably gonna get something like 15 to 18 muffins, which means that one muffin is gonna have like 70-80 calories. And one muffin is gonna have like 8 or 9 grams of protein. So those are super low calorie muffins and super high protein per calorie muffins. It's gonna have more than 1 gram of protein per 10 calories. So that is a really good ratio. So these are definitely an amazing cheat food on the cut that I'm gonna be having because, well, I'm gonna only eat like 1,600 calories today. and a lot of it is gonna come from that. But I'm gonna also get my daily protein from that. So it's like win-win. Good food, low calories, and hit your protein that I'll get from good quality protein, which is whey protein and eggs. Super recommend. Boom! So those were in the oven for about 6 minutes, maybe a tiny bit more, 6.5. And now for the taste test. That's really good. I mean, probably not the best muffin you've had in your life, but definitely tastes like a real muffin and not cheat food. It doesn't taste like, oh, we made some high protein fucking bullshit, cut shit, macro bullshit. Like, it tastes like a muffin. It tastes like it's actually food instead of some macro hack food. So definitely recommend trying this out, especially if you're on the cut, but even on the bulk. But especially on the cut, because once again, the macros are so good that you can eat these and it won't ruin your cut. It literally will help you reach your goals because there's so few calories and so much protein that this is basically like a normal cut meal. Boom! And I got 8 of these in this container now that I can bring to my friends. And so, there is the amazing muffin recipe that is super low calorie, super high protein, super easy to make, tastes amazing. Just good. And so next up, we're gonna go hit legs. Boom! I'm back home, had a pretty good workout, and the boys seem to really enjoy the muffins. And so, you should make them and try them out. And so what can we learn from all of this? Well, it is that creativity is good. Because most people think that when you're on a cut, you need to eat boring food that tastes like shit. But if you creativity max, creativity maxing muffins that taste amazing, have amazing macros, and then you can enjoy your life even on the cut. I mean, shit, man's enjoying life eating amazing muffins, still being in a calorie deficit, still hitting my protein targets, and just living the best life, you know? Progressing towards my goals while enjoying my existence. Truly, creativity maxing and cook maxing, chef maxing, cooking maxing, bakery maxing, all the maxing, maxing. And with maxing, you can just enjoy life and have a great time. And so, that is it for this video. And so as always, go out there, stay disciplined, chase your dreams, and have a fantastic day.